Ever feel like the whole universe is plotting against you? Like everyone else gets the lucky breaks and you're just stuck dealing with bad cards? When things go wrong, do you automatically point the finger? It's the boss, it's the parents, it's the government, it's society, and on and on. Here's the harsh but liberating truth. You are not the victim of your story, you are the main character. And the day you understand that is the day your life actually starts. Let's be real, playing the victim is easy. It's comfortable, because when you see yourself as the victim, you don't have to take responsibility for changing anything. If it's someone else's fault, then you get to stay right where you are. It's like complaining about being out of shape while shoving down pizza every weekend, or saying you want to make more money, but never lifting a finger to learn new skills. Victim mentality feels safe, but it's a prison. Invisible walls that keep you trapped in mediocrity, because taking responsibility hurts. It means looking in the mirror and admitting, I messed this up, I could have done better. That stings. But here's a lesson the Stoics figured out over 2,000 years ago. You don't control what happens to you, but you control how you respond. And that single choice, your response, separates the people who grow from the people who stay stuck. Look, I'm not naive. Life isn't fair. People are born into different conditions. Some with privilege, some with pain. That's real. But here's the kicker. Two people can go through the same storm and come out with completely different lives. One lets the storm break them. The other uses it to build strength. Picture two people losing their jobs on the same day. One says, I'm screwed. The world is unfair. This always happens to me. The other says, all right, this is my opening to learn something new, freelance for a while, maybe even start my own thing. Same circumstance, different story, different future. What makes the difference? The story they choose to believe about themselves. Your past pain, your setbacks, they can either define you or refine you. That choice is yours. Now here is the part most people run away from. Taking full responsibility doesn't mean everything that happens to you is your fault. No, it means you're the only one who can change it. Toxic boss, you don't control him. You do control whether you stay or find a new path. Rough childhood, you don't control what happened back then, but you do control whether you educate yourself now. Economy struggling? True, but while others complain, you can adapt, learn, and spot opportunities. Here's an exercise. Grab a notebook. Write down everything in your life that isn't the way you want it. Then, write just one action you can take for each item. Only things you can control, no waiting for people to change. When you finish, you will realize something terrifying and freeing. You have way more power over your life than you thought. The Stoics had a concept called the dichotomy of control. Simple. Divide life into two categories. One, things you don't control. Other people, the past, the weather, the economy, the traffic. Two, things you do control. Your effort, your choices, your mindset, your reactions. Epictetus, the guy who literally started life as a slave, famously said, "It is not events that disturb us, but how we think about them." Think about that. A man with chains on his feet found freedom in his mind, and many of us today, with more freedom than ever, still act like prisoners of excuses. Let me break the news. Nobody's coming to save you. Not a guru, not a soulmate, not a miracle job offer. People might support you along the way, but the hard truth is, the work is yours to do. And that's actually great news. Because if nobody can save you, then nobody can stop you either. Waiting for the perfect time is the biggest scam we tell ourselves. The conditions will never be ideal. There will always be fear, doubt, obstacles. The people who make it happen, they start messy, they start unsure, but they start. We all complain sometimes, it's human. The problem is when whining becomes your default operating system. Everyone knows someone who always turns conversations into a pity party. Those people rarely change their lives. Why? Because they spend all their energy justifying why it's impossible. The truth? Complaining never moved anyone forward. Action did, even small action. And momentum builds from there. Start small, walk a little, cut one bad habit, read 20 minutes a day. These micro choices add up, and they flip a mental switch that says, I'm no longer a victim, I'm in charge. Yes, some people went through serious trauma. abuse, abandonment, betrayal, pain you didn't choose. And I'll be clear, that is real, and it matters. But here's the distinction. Acknowledging your trauma is honest. Building your whole identity around it, that's a cage. Healing is not forgetting. Healing is refusing to let old pain dictate your future. And therapy, help, support, that's not weakness. It's responsibility. But at the end of the day, the decision to move forward, to break the cycle, is yours, always yours. Here's the bottom line. You're not a victim. You're the protagonist. That doesn't mean it's easy. It means it's possible. Yes, responsibility is heavy, but it's also freedom, because once you own it, no one else gets to hold the steering wheel of your life. Your choices, not your excuses, write your future. So stop waiting, stop blaming, stop hoping for saviors, and start being the hero of your own story. So let me ask you, what part of this hit you hardest? Drop it in the comments. And if you know someone who's stuck in victim mode, share this with them. Sometimes what we need isn't comfort, it's a wake-up call.